Hey, what's going on guys, Epic D here, giving you a quick sneak peek of this mob grinder. This is just one of many ideas out there for the mob grinder. This happens to be just one of my favorites for the base. Pretty cool because you can use it as a hit trap or a pass through, and it's got some pretty cool features about it. Yes, I flipped that switch and the monsters came raining down. That's another really cool part about this. So if you're interested in this mob grinder design, just leave a comment in the comment section below. Alright guys, so onward with the tutorial. First thing, find a lot of deep water, or make an area with a lot of deep water. The only thing the water does is give you a place to land where you're not going to die, because this thing can get you some pretty insane height. But anyways, we're just going to make a 7x7 square. So I marked the middle here first, that's what I did, and we're just going to go 3 on each side. That's going to give us a total of 7. And we'll just make a giant plus sign / X, whichever you want to call it, right here. And then we'll just bring in the edges and we'll fill the rest of it in. And I'll go ahead and speed up the filling it in part because we're just making a giant square. And that's pretty self-explanatory. So just like that, I'll go ahead and speed the rest of this up. There we are, and then what we're going to do is go to start one of the corners, any corner doesn't matter, and start building the rim. This is where our redstone wiring will go later to ignite our TNT. There we go, and now what we're going to do is we're going to build where we stand. The first block I put here is done in error. We actually want this block here up to what I'm standing on now. We want it at 1. We don't want a block here. So in the end, right in the middle, we'll have that stack of 2 and knock out the block underneath it. This is going to be where our bucket of water goes. There we go. So you can actually launch out of this right here without adding any more to it, just the redstone and the water. But to stick with the design that I made, we're going to go ahead and stack up a second layer. I think in my first video I did like 4, but after a lot of different trial and error, the 4 really doesn't help you go much higher than 2 levels. So I think 2 levels is perfect, or maybe even too much still. But I'll show you guys this setup anyway. So all you're going to do is stagger that up twice. That just gives enough room for the redstone down below and the repeaters we need to keep the power going. And when I bring this one in, I'm going to go ahead and stop right here, but we'll add this one just to show where you can actually stagger to. But if you were to put this one here, you'd pinch off the redstone wiring that's going to come up from the bottom. So if you're doing 2, you want to stop there. Otherwise you need to stagger it, because I like to put a step right here and get in and out right here. That way you don't have to go and build, steps or a ladder or anything on the outside to crawl in from the top. You can just get in straight from the water. So go back up here. Now this is how it would look if you were to stagger it, and then you would go up one more and just kind of wrap it around for like a 3rd level or 4th level, so on and so forth. Again, for this demonstration and this tutorial, I'm only going to use the 2 levels because I do believe that's all you need. I think anything more is kind of a waste of TNT. And unless you have a mob grinder like myself, TNT is kind of hard to come by if you have to kill each creeper for it. So we're going to go ahead and wire it now. We'll put a lever right here in front of our step and just run redstone all the way around. And we're going to keep going. Now remember, we do that corner where that rock is if you're just doing the bottom level only. But this will show you how to do the rest of it. Miss a spot here. Alright, so I hit that to turn it on, make sure we have power all the way. The lever also is really nice because you have a constant power, so we can see that this one's lit and that one's not. So the power dies out right here, and we're going to need a repeater to keep the power going for our 2nd level. So we'll just come down here and we'll put a repeater here, and that'll give it some juice up here. We'll finish our wiring, and we'll go ahead and put another repeater right up here just above the lever. Keep it kind of organized, and that way I know it'll have enough power to go around the other side too. So here we go, slap down our redstone, And we're almost done. We just need to add our bucket of water. Then we can show you how it works and get it all loaded up. So here's our water. Put our water right here. Want to make sure the water touches every single part of inside of this little square. If there's any part that doesn't have water there, need to try and fix it. Something's not right. It will blow up everything if you don't have. Now this little spot I'm going to leave open because the way TNT bounces around when it's lit. Those two are fine because they're just going to go into the water. But sometimes if you put a TNT in that other spot, it will blow up. It'll not land correctly, and it'll blow up your redstone. Sometimes it'll even blow up the structure. So, I missed the spot here. So you're going to load this thing up pretty much just like this. That missing water is okay because it will flow there after we hit our switch. But again, no TNT right there so that we don't blow our redstone out. And I'll go ahead and give you a demonstration, show you how it works. So not too bad. I've gotten a lot better out of these. So I'll go ahead and do another one. I'm also going to show you, you must turn off the lever before you try and load it up again. Make sure you turn that off and then start adding your TNT. I'm going to go ahead and put some in front of the lever because the lever will light it. We're going to follow this edge all the way around. This is how you load the thing. Just like this all the way around. And then up top, obviously we're not going to put the TNT where these repeaters are. And for demonstration purposes, I'll put the TNT where I told you not to put it. Just because like you guys can kind of see what happens if you do put it there. So everything's set. We're going to launch. This is actually an awesome launch. Really high. This is probably one of the highest I've gone. And above the clouds. Dude, awesome. So that one was a hell of a launch. It may go without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. I probably need to. As you can see, we blew out a lot of the redstone, and the redstone needs to be replaced there. So that's why I say not to put that other block of TNT there. But you must have diamond, well, not diamond armor, but you must have armor on, because it is going to take some of the damage away from actually hurting you. As you can see, I had a half a heart right there off of that launch. So it's important to make sure you let your hearts heal all the way if you're doing these back to back, and that you have pretty strong armor on, usually at least all the pieces. But this is another setup. This is a 5x5, a block of water underneath, and you have to jump on this one, but it does pretty good. It uses a lot less TNT, so if you don't have like a mob grinder or so, makes it a lot nicer. You don't use as much TNT in it. I can show you that one in a separate video, how to build that one. It's pretty simple, same thing as we did before, but just a 5x5, and then the redstone on the outside, a block over it with a button, piece of cake. Anyway, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Leave a comment and a like, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.